Welcome to the Planet B podcast, where truth, transformation, and faith converge. Join us as we flip the script on ecological despair, guided by Dr. Sailesh Rao's vision for a compassionate, rewilded vegan world. Let's begin the journey to the greatest transformation in human history.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 22 of the Planet B podcast, the self-transformation. Dr. Rao, thanks for being back once again.
Well, thank you for hosting this.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So please, if you don't mind, let's start with the opening quote.
Yeah, the opening quote is by the former president or director of the World Health Organization, Dr. Margaret Chan. And she said, "A healthy planet and healthy people are two sides of the same coin." Basically, self-healing and planetary healing are tied together. So if you want a healthy planet, if that's our objective, then we need to make sure that all human beings are healthy as well. You can't have, all these chronic diseases rampant if you want a healthy planet. So which means self-transformation and planetary transformation, system transformation are all tied together. What is health? Health just means that you are completely in alignment with nature, both not only physically whole, but also mentally, emotionally, and spiritually healthy. And I consider this to be like the oxygen mask rule. If you want to help other species, you have to first become healthy yourself. So you have to put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others.
Wow. So that goes into my first question, or really it's a statement that comes from your book. And what you say is sick people are not going to care about a sick planet. And conversely, a sick planet creates more sick people.
Correct. Yeah. It's a cycle, no? When we allow sickness and when we promote sickness in the system, which, as we discussed earlier, the system promotes diseases. It deliberately, addicts people into compulsive behaviors. That's not good for them. When you do that, you create a sick planet and vice versa. So a sick planet creates sicker people. So you create this feedback loop that's going in the wrong direction of more and more sickness. So we have to now reverse that and create an upward spiral of healthy people and a healthier planet. And it starts with healthy people. So personally, you have to become healthier. So I've started working on myself first. You can't be working on healing the planet if you're not healthy. So we each have to become responsible for our own physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. So you have to take responsibility for that and say, okay, I am going to become healthy. And only then will I be able to help others become healthy. So I started off by looking at, okay, what are the risky behaviors that have been encouraged in the system? And fortunately, the American College of Lifestyle Medicine had already listed these 8 risky behaviors that are responsible for 15 chronic diseases and 90% of the healthcare costs. And these 8 risky behaviors are the poor diet, physical inactivity, that's basically lack of exercise. And then third is smoking. So they are listed in order of importance. And Dr. McDougall told me that poor diet is responsible for at least half of the costs. If you assign responsibility to each individual factor, he would put more than half the cost coming from poor diet. Because the standard American diet is being promoted everywhere in the world. And the standard American diet, the SAD diet, is a diet that promotes sickness in people. And Americans are being exploited, right, by the system. And the system is saying, okay, if we want to grow, everybody needs to be like America. Every country needs to be like America. So the standard American diet is being promoted everywhere. And that's how you grow this economy, the sickness economy. So first is to get to a healthy diet. Then physical inactivity is the second reason for these 15 chronic diseases, lack of exercise. Third is smoking. Fourth is lack of health screening. So people don't go to the doctor, you know. Then fifth is poor stress management. It's because people are anxious all the time and their anxiety is promoted. It's actually stoked through social media also. You create more and more anxiety, tell you you're not good enough. It's done systematically. So it's poor stress management is the fifth risky behavior. And the sixth is insufficient sleep. People don't sleep well,
Mm.
and that's causing these chronic diseases. Then seventh is poor standard of care. Even when you're sick and you go to a doctor, the doctor is not treating you for the right diseases. You're giving people all these drugs, and these drugs cause all kinds of side effects. It becomes like a toxic mess. So that poor standard of care is the seventh risky behavior.
All right.
That's responsible for 90% of the healthcare costs. And the last is excessive alcohol and drug consumption. That's the eighth risky behavior.
Yeah.
So when the American College of Lifestyle Medicine listed these 8 risky behaviors, why don't we just do the exact opposite,
Right.
right? And it turned out that it's similar to the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, what you get when you do the exact opposite.
Where are those 6 pillars from?
The American College of Lifestyle Medicine has the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. First
Okay.
is nutrition. So everyone should get proper nutrition. Second is physical activity. The third is stress management. So knowing how to deal with stress. Fourth is restorative sleep. And then fifth is social connection, what they call social connection, which is having a good community support. And sixth is avoidance of risky substances.
All right.
So these are the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. And lifestyle medicine doctors are trained to help their patients, manage these 6 pillars. But it turns out that if you take the 8 risky behaviors and do the exact opposite, you get not only the 6 pillars, you get 2 additional pillars. You get from poor diet to healthy diet. So that's the nutrition pillar.
So let's go through these one by one, and you can kind of explain what they look like on planet B. So if you don't mind, let's begin with that number one. So number one
Right.
is going away from poor diet to what you call the food healers diet.
Correct. Yeah. So I call it the food healers diet because it's a whole food, plant-based meals that are nutritionally balanced. So in food healers, we talk about making sure that every meal has an adequate amount of greens, vegetables, and beans, and legumes, and grains, and spices. So this way you cover all the nutritional needs. It should be a complete meal, having like a rainbow in each meal.
When something tastes good, I mean, people think it's maybe from oil or, people are addicted to cheese and animal meat, but what really makes us feel satiated when we're eating these, delicious whole food plant-based meals?
Yeah, see, naturally, and our body seeks out things with salt or things with oil or fat because these are rare, in
Mm,
nature, right? So seeks it out and says, "Oh, wow, let me just store that because I may need it,"
right.
right? So think about eating nuts in nature. Like if you have to eat a walnut, you have to first break the shell
Yeah,
and then eat the inside. So how many walnuts could you possibly eat?
it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, right? So this
Yeah.
is why, when we see an abundance of that, our body craves it. And
Mm,
unfortunately, the corporations are using that natural phenomenon that makes our body seek out those things. The corporations are using that to sell more of their products because that's the system we have created. It's not their fault. Okay. We created a system saying that you have to keep growing.
right.
And to keep growing, they're going to want more and more people to consume their products.
Yeah.
So which means they'll figure out how to make you buy it, make you consume it. So loading up foods with oil and salt and sugar makes us consume more of it.
Yeah.
Because even sugar, our body seeks it out because, ripe fruit is rare. When the fruit
Yeah.
is ripe, you better eat it, you know, right? So in nature. So this is
Yeah.
why, we have that in our systems. We get satiated from a taste perspective when we exercise every part of our tongue.
Hmm.
So you have to have a combination of sweet, sour, astringent, all of the taste, like even a little bit of bitter. So we normally seek out a little bit of bitter vegetables and eat them, bitter gourd
Hmm.
and eat them. And the idea there is that you have to have that variety of taste in order to get the balanced nutrition in your body. But we are satiated in our stomach when we fill our stomach with fiber mostly. You look at how much food you can eat in terms of volume. So our stomach says it's full when it's full in volume,
Hmm.
right? Now, if you eat oil, fatty substances, a lot of that, then when you fill your stomach, you would have eaten a whole lot more calories than you really will be using. And that excess calories in the form of fat gets stored. So when you eat food without fiber, fiber has no calories whatsoever. It's basically food for your bacteria in your stomach.
Hmm.
Okay. So it keeps your gut microbiome healthy, which is why you have to eat fiber. And since fiber has no calories, it has volume and it fills up your stomach without increasing the total amount of calories you're eating.
Right.
This is why when you eat vegetables and fruits, you don't put on weight. Like you put on weight with fat. But if you eat a lot of sugar, that sugar has a lot of calories, so that then all the fat can be stored.
Hmm.
So this is why when we eat processed foods with a lot of sugar, you put on weight. And you think it's the sugar that's caused the weight, but it's not the sugar. It's only the fat that you store.
All right. And that's why it's important when we even transition to a fully vegan diet that we're focused on the whole food, plant-based
Correct.
foods.
Correct. Yeah. Whole foods, plant-based, and lots of vegetables and greens and fruits so that you fill up your stomach with fiber.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So let's go on to number two. So number two is moving away from physical inactivity and moving towards regular exercise or yoga asanas.
Right, yeah. So it turns out that we have slow movements. That's when we exercise our body better.
Hmm.
Okay. It doesn't have to be really rapid movements. So slow movements, like yogasana is go through these different poses. So I normally do a sun salutation every morning, which is 10 different poses that exercise. They basically compress and expand every part of your body. So
Good way to
you're
start.
exercising. You're basically exercising all your joints and all your
Hmm.
muscles. Right?
Yeah.
And then I do 10 sets of those poses. And then I hold one pose for 6 minutes, which is the plank pose.
Hmm.
Okay. And that builds the core muscles in my body. So I noticed that it not only builds the core strength physically, it also builds the core strength mentally, emotionally, and spiritually,
Hmm.
right? Because holding a position for 6 minutes, it's mental torture, okay? So
Especially
which
the
means if you,
last 2 minutes, right? The last 2 minutes.
right, because your mind is saying, why do you have to keep doing this? And I said, no, you do it because I am your boss, not the other way around.
Yeah, because the funny thing is though, if you let that mind be your boss, then the sugar and the nuts and all that stuff,
Right,
you're eating that too.
correct, yeah.
Oh
So
dear.
it's good exercise, when you hold a same pose for a long time. It's good mental exercise as well to tell your mind that you are the servant of the heart, not the other way
Mm,
around.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So it builds that mental strength, and also it builds the emotional core
Yeah,
because you're able to maintain equanimity going through that every day.
that's
Right?
wonderful. Yeah.
So that's the second thing. Physical activity has to be done on a regular basis. So I spend 12 minutes doing that every day. So 6 minutes for my 10 sets of sun salutations and 6 minutes for the plank pose.
That's wonderful because it's not long. You get it done at the beginning of your day so you can kind of check it off, and then I think it puts you in a good mind state for the rest of your day as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful. So let's move on to number three. So number three is let's not smoke, moving away
Right.
from smoking and moving to conscious breathing in pranayama.
Yeah. Pranayama is slow breathing. Again, it turns out that when you do things slowly, you're basically raising the awareness and you're being present in your body, right? So when I do the yoga, I take slow breaths for every pose. So if it's a stretching pose, I take an inward breath. If it's a compression pose, I take an outward breath. Right? So this way, the 10 poses are accompanied by slow breathing,
Mm,
right? And pranayama, it turns out this slow breathing, so conscious breathing, is a way to also raise your energy levels
mm,
in your body. Because you'll notice when you breathe slowly like that, that normally you take only shallow breaths. And conscious breathing brings you into the present, slows down everything around you.
mm.
So I suggest that's the opposite of smoking. And it is not there in the lifestyle pillars, the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine, right? So that's the one addition that comes in when you take
Yeah, which
this,
is a
do
wonderful.
the opposite. Now, from the fourth one, which is lack of health screening, I say it is regular health routines is the opposite of that. Eat right, do the exercise on a regular basis. So I do 12 minutes a day, every day. Okay, do the conscious breathing on a regular basis. I also do meditation on a regular basis. So this way, when you have these regular habits, that's like a health check on a daily basis. How are you feeling?
Right.
Okay. And you'll observe in anything in your body that is not up to par. And if you need to go get it tested, you can do that. And I also do annual checkups, right? When I come to India, I do my
Mhm.
annual checkups. So this way, you have regular health routines,
It's
which is
interesting
it.
too, Dr. Rao, because when you do those regular health routines, just myself, for example, I may wake up a little grumpy or kind of groggy, but then if you just get into the habit of having something that you do in the morning to wake your body up
Mhm.
to to get your mind more in control and things like that, then it's awesome how it could just trigger a very happy feeling and it brings about such a better day afterward.
Absolutely. It's like, brushing your teeth. I mean,
Right.
imagine
Yeah.
the first, how did they convince us to, everybody has to brush their teeth in the morning, right?
Yeah.
It's a regular routine we do. It's
Yeah.
similar to that. You think your mind is not more important than your teeth.
Yeah. So true.
So we
Uh,
have to do these regular routines to basically brush our mind and to tone our
mhm.
body. It's
Yeah.
not just your teeth.
Yeah.
So you need to do more than your teeth.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that long, right? So I'm saying it's like 12 minutes for me. I'm sure, other people have come up with shorter routines. Whatever
Mm,
routines they are, stick to them so that you
yeah.
do them on a regular basis. And
Yeah.
each one of us will find our own niche. That's what is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
So
That
that's
that
the
goes
fourth
right in.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that goes right into number five because it's when we do those routines, we move away from poor stress management and then to meditation and awareness in what you call
right. Yeah.
dhyana. Is that how you pronounce it? Dhyana?
Dhyana.
Dhyana.
Yeah, dhyana. Yeah. So it's basically it is meditation on a regular basis, being aware of yourself, aware of
Mm,
your role, aware of what you have to do during the day.
that's
Okay.
wonderful.
And come into a positive frame of mind. So you're always looking ahead for the well-being of all life. So without a positive frame of mind, you cannot execute.
So true. Yeah.
Right. So that's that. And number 5 is meditation and awareness. It's the opposite of poor stress management.
Can you talk a little bit more about that positive mindset? It's so important because if you do those first four, it builds up into that positive
Correct.
mindset for the
Yeah.
day. And why is that so important for us?
Well, whatever you focus on, however you project your presence in the world, gets amplified.
Right.
Okay. So if you have a negative frame of mind, you're seeing the negative side of things because there is always negative and positive around you.
Right.
So if you just focus on the negative things that are going on, you amplify that in the universe
Right.
because people are hearing you say these negative things and they're repeating that. That's the amplification that happens. Okay. So you become a source of negative energy that spreads out through the world. So I'd rather be a source of positive energy that spreads throughout the world. I'm
Right.
looking at the negative side of what's going on. I'm looking at the positive side of what's going on. And I choose to promote the positive side
Mm-hmm.
of what's going on, right? I choose to promote the positive perception of things. Okay. Because then you're highlighting the good things that are going on, and then others will also highlight that, and that gets amplified.
Right.
So this is why it's so important if you want a healthy planet to show the positive side of all things that are going on around you.
Yeah.
But then you amplify the positive side of it. I mean, think about it. Our planet is amazing. Okay.
It is.
Despite everything we have done, despite all the chemical pollution we put into the environment, all of that stuff, there is still oxygen. There is still photosynthesis working. You still have access to water everywhere, right? And so life can still thrive. So why don't we take that and start cleaning up so that it's
Right.
easier and easier for life to thrive, so instead of highlighting the negative. So that's why I always try to show the positive side of things.
Yeah. And I noticed,
Okay.
Dr. Rao, when you talk to even through these podcasts, when we communicate to be positive, to have hope, because that
Yeah.
positivity, as you said, it manifests out into the world and then they become more interested in what you're saying as well.
Yeah, people want to join a group that's fun, and joyful, who
Yeah.
are who are actually enjoying life, right? So,
Yep.
and that's what we need to become, right? A community that's having fun, constantly, helping life. And then the sixth one is inadequate sleep, right? And I say that if you do the first 5, you will sleep soundly.
It's so true.
Automatically, you improve your sleep cycles when you do that. Of course, there are pathologies that people have to address, but just by doing these first 5 things, you'll sleep soundly.
Right.
Okay. Then seventh is poor standard of care. And the opposite of that, to me, is a sense of purpose.
Right.
Right. So if you have a sense of purpose, you have this mental stability because you know what you have to accomplish.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're motivated. So you have that life energy that's coming out and manifesting through you. And then the last one, excessive alcohol and drug consumption.
Mm.
And the opposite of that is contact with nature.
Right.
Yeah, because excessive alcohol consumption comes from a disconnection with nature. Disconnection not only with nature outside, but nature within you.
Yep.
Right? And so when you're comfortable in your own skin, you really don't need external stimulants
Yeah. So true.
to feel better. That's what I mean by contact with nature. It's contact with your own nature, with nature around you, and being aware of that. And you will feel it when you go to a forest. You'll literally feel like you won't need alcohol or drugs or anything, but then there is no need for you to get high.
Dr. Rao, in chapter 22, you mention at the end that an altruistic sense of purpose towards an objective much larger than ourselves is foundational to human well-being on planet B. So what
Correct.
exactly does that mean?
When you're serving others, as a species, if you're serving other species, or as an individual, you're serving others, you're a lot happier than trying to acquire for yourself. So you need to create a system in which serving others is normalized. And that's this kind of system transformation that we're working on in Planet B. So you have to create a system in which it's normal for you to serve others, right? And because that altruistic motivation makes every one of us a lot happier. This I've found through personal experience. I have no doubt about that. But facilitating that, making it easy for people to do that, it has to come from within each one of us.
Beautiful.
We need to be able to give away our gifts. I think a famous person once said, I don't remember who said it, said, the greatest tragedy is how many humans die with their song still in them.
What's wonderful, Dr. Rao, is that on planet B, this systematic change, it puts at the fourfold the ability for humans to utilize those gifts given by the divine to create this beautiful planet.
Absolutely. We are called now to bring forth our gifts and to restore the planet, stabilize it and maintain it for the benefit of all life. Look how beautiful the planet is behind me, right? That's planet Earth. Wouldn't you rather heal this and clean it up and make this a livable planet than go off to Mars where there is no blue water?
Yeah.
So think about that, which is what this chapter is all about.
So as we wrap up the chapter, is there any final message you'd like to share with our audience?
Please remember that self-transformation, getting ourselves healthier, is the foundation of all systems transformation. The two go hand in hand. So it's a system in which each one of us is going to get healthier, because as we get healthier, we make the planet healthier. So I look forward to joining you on this journey.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Rao, and thank you all for joining us for episode 22. Next episode is extremely fascinating. It's one I hope everyone joins us for, and that is chapter 23, Busting the Protein Myth. So thank you all for joining us today, and we hope you join us again soon. Bye.
This has been a podcast from Planet B, where animals aren't resources, just neighbors. If you haven't moved here yet, we thank you for visiting.